Hello there, welcome back to my views and news. Another video, new stories from Ethiopia and Eritrea. Firstly, Ethiopia, Amhara region. Heavy fighting erupted 4 to 5 hours ago in a town, in a Voreda, in two Voreda rather, in two Voredas of the Amhara region, which are very strategic Voredas. I remember when Tigray forces entered Amhara region in July 2021. They captured Waghimra, they captured parts of North Wallo, parts of South Wallo, and then they managed to advance towards South Gondar. They were stopped in these two Voredas where these minutes there is heavy fighting. I somehow got in touch with a source who is there and he shared details with me. I want to share with you these details. And secondly, viewers, on Monday, Sudanese military chief visited Eritrea. He met with Isaias Afwerki, Eritrean president, and I said that Isaias showed yesterday that he was a key player in the Horn of Africa because last year Al-Burhan, Sudanese military chief, rejected Isaias' offer to mediate in Sudan. But yesterday, Isaias was visited by Al-Burhan. What happened in Eritrea? Was there any meeting between Al-Burhan and some Sudanese groups? Al-Burhan, what does he want from Eritrea? Now we have seen some details from the meetings, and Eritrea has now clearly taken a side. Why am I saying that Eritrea is now taking a side and it is not neutral now in Sudanese war? Have a look at this development. Firstly, viewers, Amhara region of Ethiopia, where these minutes heavy fighting is ongoing in two Voredas of South Gondar. Let me take you back a little to 2021 when Tigray forces entered Amhara region. Before that they retook Raya, Koram, and then they entered Waghimra. They captured almost entire Waghimra. Then they captured almost entire North Wallo. And from North Wallo, from Voldia, they advanced in two directions. In southern direction towards South Wallo and in western direction towards South Gondar. They could not reach Gondar from the north. They managed to reach, I think, close to the Bark, but they could not reach close to Gondar city. So they were hoping that from Voldia, they'll advance along the road and they'll reach Gondar. They'll reach Varata and they'll cut off Gondar by the road. They captured Gashina, if you remember. They captured Lalibela. Sikota was already under their control. From Gashina, they advanced towards South Gondar. Where were they stopped? They were stopped in Gayint. Some people call it Sayant, I think, but some others say it's Gayint. There are two Gayints in South Gondar. These two Gayints are on Wallo South Gondar border. You can say Gondar starts from Gayint, South Gondar. And we saw fighting for the control of Nifas, Mecha and other towns. Here TDF could not control these towns and TDF had to retreat. Why was TDF unable to control Gayint and then Varata? Gayint people are armed. Local farmers here, everyone is armed. And that is why almost entire Gondar was fighting. It was difficult for entire South Gondar. It was difficult for TDF. TDF withdrew. It had to retreat. Now, around 4 to 5 hours ago, heavy fighting erupted in Gayint, both in upper and lower Gayint. For the past few days, military has been trying to conduct house-to-house searches in Gayint, trying to trace Fano commanders. Fano commanders could not be tracked. Civilians, local residents, they were not happy with ENDF's extensive searches. And reportedly, Fano is getting public support here. It means that the road, Gashina to Dibber road, again, not open. It cannot be used by ENDF for supplies towards Dibber. 3 days ago, Fano, reportedly pro-Fano elements, distributed pamphlets in Dibber, telling military to withdraw, to retreat till Thursday. Then, yesterday there was fighting in Iste and the other town close to Iste and Mekane is the other town, and now in Sindh. If these Waradas, Gayint, which have Nifas Micha too, if these Waradas come under full Fano control, it would be a huge blow to Ethiopian National Defense Force, because obviously it means that Debre Tabor would fall. Then from here, Fano fighters would move towards Debre Tabor. That is why they distributed pamphlets 3 days ago in Debre Tabor, because they were hoping that they would take control of upper and lower Gayint Waradas. So let's see what happened so far. Civilians are, local residents, not happy with ENDF's restrictions, ENDF's house-to-house searches. That is why a large number of civilians supporting Fano fighters. Heavy clashes ongoing, Fano fighters pushing Ethiopian military out of Sindh. Reportedly, military is trying to stick in, but it is under serious pressure in Sindh. It might retreat from Sindh. So, I'll bet you in coming videos tomorrow about what is happening there. If majority of Gayint people start supporting Fano fighters, it would be difficult, almost impossible for ENDF to stay in control of Sindh. They'll have to withdraw, I think. And if they withdraw, they'll have to leave Debre Tabor. Let's see. Secondly, viewers, Eritrea-Sudan relations. Eritrea has chosen a side now. Eritrea has been claiming to be neutral in Sudanese conflict. But Eritrea is not neutral now, because yesterday what happened in Asmara is an indication of the fact that Eritrea is now supporting Burhan, Sudanese military. And Eritrea never supported RSF's expansion towards its borders, towards eastern Sudan. Eastern Sudan tribes, Bija, Hedendwa, they have also been opposing RSF's expansion towards Kassala. Obviously, they don't want their dominance to be challenged by rapid support forces. Yesterday, when Al-Burhan visited Eritrea, he held some meetings. Before Burhan's arrival, we saw that top Sudanese commanders, groups, leaders from eastern and western Sudan, they arrived in Asmara. Jibril Ibrahim, head of Justice and Equality Movement, Mini Minawi, head of Sudan Liberation Movement, Darfur governor, then Bija tribe elder and some others, they arrived in Asmara. Meetings were held. Then came Burhan. And Burhan held a meeting with the head of SPLM North in Asmara yesterday. Sudan People's Liberation Movement, Abdul Aziz Al-Hilo group leader, whose name is Abdul Aziz Al-Hilo. He was there in Eritrea too yesterday. This is second meeting between Hilo and Al-Burhan. Their first meeting was held in South Sudan a few days ago. Second meeting yesterday in Asmara. What is the significance of this meeting? Al-Hilo is leading SPLM North. And after the war broke out between Rapid Support Forces and Sudanese military in April, we saw that SPLM started attacks on Sudanese military. SPLM is mainly based in Kordofan and Blue Nile State, mainly in Kordofan and near Kadugli and some other places. Sudanese military's bases were captured by SPLM. And in Blue Nile State too, I think there was an attack on Sudanese military base by SPLM Al-Hilo group. Now, Sudanese military of Burhan does not want Hilo to fight military. At the meeting held yesterday in Asmara, Al-Burhan requested Al-Hilo to support Sudanese military against Rapid Support Forces. We have not seen direct clash between Rapid Support Forces and Al-Hilo's SPLM in Sudan so far. Other SPLM faction led by Malik Agar, mainly based in Blue Nile, is part of military because Malik Agar is vice chairman of Sudan Sovereignty Council. Al-Burhan wants Al-Hilo to support military against Rapid Support Forces. If Al-Hilo supports military, it means that in Kordofan, which shares border with Darfur, Sudan military and SPLM, they can jointly take on Rapid Support Forces. That is what was discussed in Asmara yesterday. So it's clear now that Eritrea has chosen a side. It is supporting Al-Burhan. There was no representative from Rapid Support Forces yesterday in Eritrea. All parties which arrived in Eritrea yesterday are either neutral or they are those parties which are being wooed by Sudan military. Military wants them to be on its side. No one from RSF was there in Eritrea. Now, it's a very interesting regional picture. Eritrea now supporting Sudanese military by trying to bring military and other factions close. Egypt supporting Sudanese military. Northern and southern neighbors supporting Sudan military. South Sudan too, because South Sudan also hosted a meeting between Burhan and Hilo a few days ago. South Sudan also supporting Sudanese military. Western neighbors supporting Rapid Support Forces. Chad. Chad is being used as the base for supply of weapons to Rapid Support Forces by the UAE. UAE is supporting Rapid Support Forces. And by the way, today I'm recording this video. Chad's president, Mohammed Dabi, son of Idris Dabi, is in the UAE. This is his second or third visit of the UAE. UAE is sending weapons to RSF through Chad. Central African Republic, CAR also supporting RSF. Libya, it was rumored, it was rather reported by, I think, Washington Post that through Libya, weapons were supplied to Rapid Support Forces. So, Western allies and northwestern neighbors and western neighbors of Sudan, they are supporting Rapid Support Forces because these neighbors share border with Darfur, where there is significant presence of Rapid Support Forces. Where is Ethiopia? Where does Ethiopia stand on this conflict? PMAB is close to Houthi, but Ethiopia is trying to be neutral. Eritrea has taken sides now. Let's see what Ethiopia does. Very interesting regional picture emerging. But can Burhan survive politically? Can he still announce a new government in Port Sudan, recognized by neighbors? That we'll see in coming days. Thank you for watching.